freaking hose. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a new video. I was just gonna do kind of a ASMR kind of car wash. There's no talking, but I figured I would kind of do a wash and chat tonight because I got some things coming in for the car. I figured I would just kind of mention them instead of doing a separate video. I would just kind of talk my way through it during the wash. We got a crazy thunderstorm going on right now in November, which is insane. It's like 60, almost 70 degrees out right now. So that is one of the perks about washing your car in the garage, is you don't have to worry about the weather and all that. And luckily it's going to be it's going to be nice this whole week as of right now. So I'm not worried about it getting dirty tomorrow when I drive it. First thing I have coming in, I actually purchased new rotors and pads. I was kind of weighing my options here. You know, what I wanted to do. Ultimately, I would have loved to do a big, you know, the 2018 Plus Brembo kit, but everyone that I found was way too banged up. They were asking, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I get a brand new set of Stop Techs or other brands out there for, you know, brand new for that price. So I decided to hold off for now, and I needed new pads. So I said, might as well just upgrade the rotors because I got 30,000 miles on these. But like I said, the rotors are okay, but you know, they're definitely used. So I figure might as well, if I'm going to do the whole brake refresh. I did the pair and master cylinder brace in the engine bay. So I figure I might as well do that. I'm also going to do a proper brake bleed of the system. So it's going to feel like a whole entire new car, basically. I decided to go with the DBA T3 4000 series rotors, which are just slotted. Really good rotor. I got a lot of good reviews on it. Everybody recommended them. I was thinking about going with the 5000 series. I even thought about going with the gyro disc two-piece, which are 800 or 900 just for one disc, or for a pair, I should say. So I decided not to go with those, but ultimately I was contemplating going with a higher end rotor, or a higher trim, I don't know what you want to call it, higher model. But I just decided it's not really worth it. You know, I drive this car 100% on the street. I don't need, you know, track ready rotors. Even the ones that I went with are overkill for the street. But I wanted something a little bit nicer than just blanks. So I decided to go a little bit crazy, a little bit more fancy, and go with the you know, the 4000 series. So I'm excited for those. I also ended up getting the Hawk HPS 5.0 pads. I'm not looking for anything crazy in terms of braking power or anything like that, but I was definitely looking for some, at least some upgrade in terms of how the, you know, pedal feel in the initial bite. Lower dusting would obviously be really nice, but it wasn't you know, a deal breaker for me. So I decided to go with the 5.0s by Hawk, which have a lot of great reviews. A lot of people love them for the street, and they have some great initial bite. You know, you don't really sacrifice you know, going with a lower dust pad. It does dust, but I don't believe as much as the OEM ones, so that'll be really nice. I will be getting them in hopefully this week. As for when the install will be, obviously I'll be doing a full you know, do it yourself kind of instructional video on how to do that, and just kind of going through all the process. But when I'll actually install them, I'm not really sure. I'm obviously gonna have to schedule in some serious time to do it, because not that it's hard, but it takes some, you know, time, just, you know, getting the car jacked up, taking all the wheels off, and doing all the work and everything. So you know, I'll definitely get it done in one of the weekends. I also have a really nice or another interior piece coming. It's actually a custom one-off piece, or there are a couple pieces actually. I'll show you when they come in, but it's really nice, and it's going to get rid of the last piece of chrome that I have in the car. Another thing that I actually have coming, while I'm in the works of working something out with a company, is finally an AOS. Now, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I did kind of a Q&A, you know, kind of ask me anything type of story, whatever you want to call it, on my Instagram. And I got a crazy amount of questions and feedback. It's really fun doing those things. I really love to answer all your guys' questions, and just kind of, you know, I know a lot of people have questions about the wheels and the basic stuff, but it's really cool to answer specific questions that I may not answer, otherwise if you guys didn't ask me. A lot of the questions that I got were, how come you don't have an AOS? Do you recommend one? How come not a catch can? Basically asking why I'm not running one, or if I have plans to. So I always have plans to run one. I always have plans to get one. I always have plans to install one. But one of the things that was just holding me back was, I don't want to say I was intimidated by the install, but I've watched videos, I've read the manual or the instructions on how to do it, and it is a major pain in the butt. The idea of it is very simple. It's literally just screwing it into the strut towers and running hoses and stuff to certain places. But I don't know. I got really motivated and I was like, you know what, this is crazy. I've done everything else, and the AOS is something that I definitely should do. So I'm gonna do one. I decided, first off I should say, like I said, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I was debating between the Perrin AOS or the IAG. Now I know the IAG is kind of the best one, and that what most people use and what most people recommend. But one of the issues that I was having, or I was going to have, was I'm running the Perrin strut bar, which is a little bit different than the other strut bars because it goes behind the intercooler as opposed to over the top. The AOS actually sits right where the bar goes on the Perrin one. So, I know the strut bar is, I wouldn't say completely aesthetic, but I just really like the way it looks, especially with the white, and I really didn't want to get rid of it. So I got some confirmation. I know that the Perrin one fit because Perrin confirmed with me that it does fit. But ultimately, I really wanted to go with the IAG just because it's a better unit. I guess it's more efficient and it just works better, and more people recommend them. So, but like I said, one of the reasons going with IAG was it wouldn't fit the Perrin strut bar. At least that's what they were telling me, and what people, that have quickly researched, that people have said. I'd rather get the better, actually functioning unit and worry about the strut bar. But with all my cool followers and subscribers, I got a few pictures and a few confirmations that the IAG with the new bracket actually fits with the Perrin strut bar. So that got me really excited. And plus they actually just released, a lot of people have the V2 IAG, but they just released the V3, which is a bit better in terms of, how it works. And also it's a little bit smaller, the actual whole housing. So I won't have as big of an issue of getting it to fit. So I'm currently talking with IAG right now. I'm trying to get a custom colored one. I don't know if it's going to work out. So it's just a matter of seeing if they can make a one-off for me. Obviously it's probably going to cost extra, but whatever. Some of you may be questioning why I'm actually just using a normal, hose attachment as opposed to my pressure washer. Sometimes with just the wheels, I just use this because the wheels just aren't as dirty. They don't really need the pressure washer. And plus this is way quieter, so sometimes I just prefer using this. It's a little bit easier in terms of hooking everything up. Plus it's about 9-10 at night, so usually I try to be as considerate as possible when I'm washing my car at night and not have to use the pressure washer, at least when I'm cleaning the wheels. But I will foam the car with it, so that's why I'm using this. I guess the main thing that's taking up my time currently, I'm trying to put out videos and everything, but one thing that I'm really focusing on right now, other than the car, is actually a new car for my wife. We've been leasing, I should say, a 2018 Outback for 3 years now. And we leased that car because we knew it wasn't something we were going to keep forever, and we wanted to get something 3 rows in the future. At the time that we got the Outback, the Ascent wasn't out yet. Otherwise, we probably would have gotten it then. But either way, we leased it. It was a really good deal. Absolutely love the car. But we need a 3-row because we are expecting another child. So we are going to need the extra space, a little bit more room for all the kids and everything. So we are kind of doing the whole, comparing all the 3-row SUVs out there, just driving them back to back, seeing what we like. Ultimately, it's coming down to 4 choices right now. For me, it's only 2, but my wife wanted to try all 4 of the ones that she liked. that are comparable. We have test driven the Kia Telluride. We have test driven the Subaru Ascent. And this past weekend we test drove the Hyundai Palisade, sorry, and the Volkswagen Atlas. Now I know there's others out there like the Honda Pilot. You know, some people will say the Toyota Highlander, a couple others out there, Ford Explorer and all that, but we just really weren't interested in them for other reasons. Those are the four that we're looking at. All great cars, all very similar priced. And I was hoping to get some clarity, you know, because I know what I like, I know what I want. It's very easy for me to pick out a new car, you know, sometimes without even test driving it. I can pretty much figure out what I want, you know, without even seeing one, especially with this car. I didn't even test drive it. I knew exactly what I wanted. And the first time I drove this car was off the lot when I bought it. But I was hoping to get some, you know, solidity, some figuring out what direction to go after test driving all four of them, you know, with her test driving them as well. And I was hoping, you know, she'd be like, oh, I really like this one, or this one's better, or I like this, or what have you. But I got no clarification. You know, they're all really great cars. So, and they're also comparable. They're also similar that it's almost hard to choose. But for me, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I'm a huge fan of the Kia Telluride. I'm not a Kia person, never was, and I'm shocked that I'm even saying this or even wanting to spend 50 grand on a Kia. But the Telluride I think is probably the best three-row SUV out there, you know, in that price range, without a doubt. It drives nice. I think it looks awesome. It's a very classy, timeless design, in my opinion. You know, we would get, you know, they have a Nightfall package, which is like the blacked out, you know, the grille and the trim and the wheels and stuff. So obviously I'm more attracted to that than the basic stuff. So that's probably what we would get. I just think the whole package with the Telluride is the best. You get a lot for your money. Mainly because Kia, and especially Hyundai as well, they're trying to compete. You know, they're trying to compete with the luxury vehicles out there. So they really put all their effort into these two vehicles, these two SUVs. You know, especially the interior, I think is just so nice. You know, you wouldn't find that. You know, a perfect example is we test drove the Volkswagen Atlas. While I feel like that drove really nice, it felt more put together in terms of like just the feel of it. You don't get as much. You know, you're paying for the quality as opposed to, you know, the functions and stuff. Well, you know, which I actually like the Atlas a lot more than I thought. I actually wasn't even considering it. You know, I was just test driving it just to kind of do my due diligence. But I actually ended up liking it a lot. So for me, it was between the Atlas and the Telluride. So for me, obviously, I'm attracted more towards these sporty looking cars, or the trim levels, you know, with the black package and all that stuff and all the cars. It's just, I'm sure a lot of people can relate, but you know, I like the R line on the Atlas, which is the sportier version. It has the black accents and stuff, black wheels, or, you know, darker wheels or whatever. The interior felt a little boring, which is, I guess, kind of very German. I don't mean boring. It's very simple, very, you know, to the point. There's nothing fancy about it. It's very, very nice, but I just think you don't get as much in terms of options and just design standpoint. It's more about the quality, which I'm all for. You know, I'm a huge German fan. The Hyundai Palisade was really nice. You get a lot of options, but I'm not a big fan of the front end of that. I think the grille is just a little too much. Interior was very nice, actually nicer than I thought. Had some really nice options. They're all so similar that it is very hard to choose from. But I personally, like I said, I'm a big fan of the Telluride. I don't know what it is. They catch my eyes all the time. I always break my neck when I see them. So we'll see what we end up with. Definitely got to do something soon. Mainly because our lease, we have like 2,000 miles left on the lease. And I think we have until next summer. until the lease end, but we're not going to make it with miles. And plus, like I said, we're having our third kid. I want to get that complete, I want to get that whole thing done with prior to the arrival of number 3. Just another thing to check off the list that I have to do before all that happens. All right, so what else should we talk about? I'd also love to do kind of like I don't want to say a meet, but like a get together kind of drive in the spring. I wanted to actually do one this past spring, but with everything that happened, I wasn't able to do it. But I think that'd be pretty fun, getting some local people or anybody that's interested in making the drive to wherever I make the, wherever it's going to be, the location. And, just kind of meeting you guys, going for a drive. And I don't know, I think that would be fun. Just to kind of get out of the garage. Because a lot of people don't think I drive my car. I think I just wash it and, put things on it. A lot of people always just ask me, what are you going to do next? And, I found as I got older, and especially with this car, I realized that I don't have to keep doing stuff to enjoy this car. I always want to modify it. I always want to do stuff to it. But, I'm at that point now. It's like, for me, what I use this car for, it's so perfect. There's really not much more that I want to change. I contemplated changing wheels in the springtime, which I still might do. But I'm probably going to keep these. I'm not going to sell them. I think it would be cool to get a dedicated summer set and leave these as like the daily wheels, I guess, or the winter wheels, whatever you want to call it, just the everyday wheels, where I'll get a really nice set of Volks or something as my summer set or fun set. But who knows? I don't know. That's a lot of money. But I'm so far in with this car that it's I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Some people have actually asked me about merch, which I don't think I'm in a point in this whole thing that anybody would buy it. But I mean, who knows? I don't know where I'm going with this thing. I'm mainly just doing it just for myself and just to, it's just fun for me. But I don't know if I'll ever do merch. I hate calling it merch. I don't know why. If I ever get to that point, I think that'd be kind of cool, making some stuff for you guys to buy. I don't know what it would be. I'm not a big fan of like the stickers and stuff. Just because I don't put that stuff in my car or use that, any brand that I support. I don't really do that. I mean, whatever. I don't know. It obviously depends on what you guys would want. But I mean, in the end, I would love to do some really nice like shirts or something, really nice sweatshirts, nice, super nice quality, not like, the cheap stuff. I'm really picky with my t-shirts. So I'd probably be the same exact way as if I did anything like that, but I don't know. I also thought about going to a new suspension setup, whether it's going with the Fortune Auto 510s, I just have the 500s, or stepping it up and going to like ASTs or Olin's or something, something a little bit more higher end. But I don't know. I have such a good experience with the Fortune Autos, my current ones, that I don't know if it's worth really making the switch. I'm at that 25,000 mark with the coilovers, so I don't think I'll have to get them rebuilt soon. But if I get to that point where I do have to rebuild them, I might just get a new set instead of waiting for the set to be rebuilt or something. I don't know. So I'm going to be, I took some time off around Christmas, probably the longest vacation or time off that I've taken in a very long time. So during that time, I plan to actually detail the car. So I'm going to be doing a full paint correction, do the ins and outs of everything that I do when I really do a full detail. I'm also going to be ceramic coating the car. I'm going to be using G-Technic CSL and EXO. So it's definitely going to be recording that, doing a whole video series. So if anybody's interested in a longer format type of video, I will be doing that whole series in December. So, granted, pending weather, I mean, I'm not going to be driving the car much over that vacation. I mean, who knows, maybe I will. But either way, I have a lot of time to, do each step very slowly and not have to rush anything. I don't have to do it in a weekend, which is what I normally do. But the car is definitely due for one. Last time I actually fully detailed the car was back in May of 2019. So it's been a year and a half. The paint's still holding up really, really well. I haven't found the need to actually really do any type of paint correcting or any type of resealing or anything. Just topping it with bead maker, which I'm doing right now, has done wonders. Plus with all my washing techniques and everything that I do, it's just the paint has held up so well. I mean, there's definitely areas where there's some swirling and stuff, but it's not major. So it should be a fun series. As much as I enjoy detailing, I think I enjoy the after, the overall product, the final product, more than actually detailing. I've detailed so much in my lifetime that it's like I'm so over it. I just like the result. So hopefully we get some snow this year. I really don't like to drive this car in the snow too much, just not because of I don't think this car is capable, but because of other drivers. Other drivers in any type of inclement weather seem to forget how to drive. So I'm more worried about that than, my own abilities. But I am looking forward to it. It's been about 2 years of no snow in New Jersey. We had, a few little, dustings and maybe like an inch or so here and there, but it's been gone. It dries up or melts within the same day. So we haven't really had any major snowstorms in a solid 2 years. Also, I really, really want to start this garage, with the, doing the, I don't want to say mods, but doing stuff that I want to do to it. I really, really want to get the flooring, the Swiss tracks, and I really want to get someone here to finish the drywall and stuff. We've been in this house for 4 years now, and I kept on telling myself that I was going to do it, but other interior projects or other things came up that I wasn't, that took priority, that I wasn't able to spend the fun money, I guess, the fun house money on the garage. Like this past summer, we had to replace and do the entire HVAC system, AC, heating, everything. So that was a fun one. But now that it's done, I'm really happy it is, because it's super efficient. It just heats and cools the house so much better. But now I think we're at a point where, we've done a lot of the stuff that we wanted to get done to this house, at least right away. So now that has happened, we can finally start entertaining getting the garage done. Now, naturally, the year that I'm ready to finally do the garage, we're having another kid. I'm gonna go ahead, finish drying this car. I think I've gotten everything out that was in my mind. Went over everything, the mods coming in for this car. I'm gonna be doing a detailing series about the family car. So I think I've touched all the bases that I wanted to touch, and I didn't rant or go into anything crazy. So I think that might be it. So let me finish drying the car, doing everything else, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right, guys, so finish up the wash. Got everything dry, got everything protected, got it ready for another week of daily driving. Every single time, this amazes me how well Beadmaker works. The car looks so good. I honestly haven't waxed the car since way before summer. So that just goes to show how great this stuff actually works. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in on this wash and chat. I know it wasn't anything too crazy, but I figured I would kind of document this because I enjoy this stuff and I know some of you guys do too. So that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you in the next one.